Marriage. It's the bond between two people who love each other so much. And then a week passes, and then you hate each other, and then you want to buy something, but you don't want your partner to find out, so you lie. I threw out the question to Facebook, what lies have you told your partner? Let's go through some of the responses. My mum celebrated my dad's birthday the next day for many years, and I'm pretty sure even wrote it on documents and stuff. My dad was too nice, so he couldn't tell her what his actual birthday was until one day he couldn't live with it anymore. And when she brought presents into bed in the morning, he came clean and let her know his birthday over the last 30 years has actually been the day before. He had to show her his license because she didn't believe him. Oh, that's really sweet. They're so in love. Is that really distracting? That's my phone case. It's my wallet. I'll take it out. Everyone's like, oh, what is that on your phone? I'm like, it's a phone wallet because I can't remember two items, right? So my wallet is my phone. I've always got my phone and I take care of my phone like it's my child. My hubby and his mates came back after a game of indoor cricket and they had a barbecue. They were all pretty hammered before the cooking began. I went out to check and was mortified they were turning the sausages with the dog poo tongs that were sitting on the fence. I didn't have the heart to tell them what they were doing. They ate dog shit. Oh my God, Wendy. I love the polar opposite. Like on one hand, you had old Bruce who was so in love with his wife, he didn't want to disappoint her by telling her she's got his birthday wrong all these years. And then you got Wendy who's like, oh, my husband can eat shit. It's so, oh my God, love is amazing. My husband planted some pumpkin seeds and was so excited to see if they would germinate. We're first time gardeners. Sadly, every day he would go out and they would, like nothing would have happened. I felt so sad for him that one day I snuck out at 5 a.m. and planted some pumpkin seeds, then ran inside to tell him to come look. He was like a kid at Christmas. I don't regret never telling him the truth. He loved those little plants. Oh, it's so cute. My parents lived out on a farm at the time. Dad worked long hours, 14 to 17 hours a day. Dad knew that Mum had 6 cats. But Mum failed to tell Dad that she actually had 12. She had allocated feeding time so Dad would only see 6 cats at a time. After we had our daughter, I was very sleep deprived. My husband bought me an iPod for my birthday, and one night I had it in my hand, still in its case, when I went to warm a bottle in the microwave. Oh, I put the iPod in and melted it. A little. The case was still intact, but the screen had melted, so I told him it was like that when I opened it. He took it back to the shop the next day, made a fuss, and they replaced it for him. I've never told him. My husband, what are your plans for today? Me, very pregnant. Not much, might scrub the bathroom. He drives off to work. I hook the horse float to the car and go pick up a new horse. So dramatic. When he arrives home, he counted the heads in the paddock 5 times before he started yelling out, babe, how many horses do we have? I said, 5, why? He was like, oh, okay. I love how dumb men are. Like, I'm included in this. Like, I'd be like, I could have sworn we had 4 horses. Babe, how many horses do we have? 5. Oh yeah, there's 5. Okay, no, that makes sense. Oh, this just fills me with joy. The naivety of men. Many years ago, I got really drunk and wet the bed. I woke up and realized what had happened and noticed that my boyfriend at the time was laying right in the wet spot. I snuck out of bed, changed my undies and pants, snuck back into the room and woke him up. I said, quick, wake up. Oh, you've pissed the bed. Oh, honey. A friend of my brother's did the same thing, except he shat himself. Probably high on drugs or something. That's what you do, isn't it? So he shat himself, and the girl he'd taken home, they were back to back, so he shat all over her. And he was so horrified, and she'd slept through it. So he quick thinkingly, because she was covered in his shit, he woke up and was like, oh, gross. Oh my God, you've shat on me. And he made it seem like her fault. And she woke up, the poor thing, and was so horrified, started crying, cleaned herself up and ran away and left. And I think believes that she shat on him. Oh my God, this one is so amazing and so awful. So Kylie says, If I forget to tell my husband about some big plans that I have, and I just like, oh shit, I forgot to tell him. When he causes a stink, I get angry and go, oh my God, honey, I've told you this 1,000 times. Do you ever listen to me? Oh my God. My mum does that to my dad, and dad's always like, I could have sworn you haven't told me. When my partner couldn't find his keys a few years ago, we turned the house upside down as we were running late for work. After an hour of searching, I found them in my bag. So I snuck them into the Tupperware drawer, told him to check the drawers one more time, and when he found it, he then blamed our toddler. My mum would buy clothes, wash them before Dad got home, put them on the line, and leave them for 24 hours. Then ask him to bring the washing in so he wouldn't realise it was new and he'd seen them on the line and so just naturally thought these were old clothes. Oh, that is so... I have some genius followers, like legitimately psychopathically genius. I once used my Foxtel app on my phone to change the channel of the TV. I knew my ex was watching at home. I was at my parents' at the time, and the app actually allows you to change the channel even if you're miles away. So I kept changing the channel to scary ghost programs. He kept calling me and I played dumb. He then went and told all his mates that our house was haunted. My partner was sick, so I was making him some toast. I got distracted and burnt the toast. I was too lazy to make some more. Oh, come on, Athena. You put bread in a toaster and it does the work for you. I was too lazy to make more, so I gave it to him and told him the charcoal would help him get better. He believed me and thanked me, and he said he felt better the next day. I was pregnant and ate the last piece of his pizza that he was saving for lunch. So I lied and said that I chucked it out on accident. Then I threw up from eating too much and all the pepperoni came out. And I was caught out in my own lie. That is so... That's cute though. Oh, honey, I must have thrown it all over the floor. I've threw it up. I ate it and now I've thrown it up. Do you want some pizza? It's here on the floor for you. I told my partner that I didn't know how to cook, so I didn't have to cook for him all the time. Then one day, I forgot my own lie and cooked up a delicious feast. To which he said, for someone that doesn't cook, this is very good. Please don't judge, but once I mistakenly thought I had found the perfect parking spot, only to realise it was a walkway to the underground elevators. Unfortunately, it was a pretty tight squeeze and I managed to scrape the car all the way down against a red and yellow pole. Once I realised I couldn't even get out of the car, I then proceeded to reverse out, re-scraping the car in an effort to get out. I told my husband someone sideswiped me. I just don't know what happened. Pretty sure he didn't believe me because he said, what? Buy 2 cars, a red and a yellow one? My partner would never eat leftovers. So each time I reheated leftovers that had been frozen, I'd fry up some onions. And he'd always comment on how dinner smelt. That's delicious. Eventually I told him that I was just cooking onions to make him think I was cooking a fresh meal, when instead I was just throwing in the leftovers. Yeah, Danny, it's because you have a whingy little bitch for a husband. Oh, I don't eat leftovers. I am too good for leftovers. Leftovers are sometimes the best meals of your life. Anytime I would bring something home, I would tell my partner I'd won it at the shops for being the lucky customer. Honey, I was the 10,000th customer today at Gucci and I got all these Gucci products. How lucky am I? My now ex-husband always complained about being allergic to home brand milk and would only buy the expensive stuff. I thought he was being a little princess, so I washed out the empty brand name milk bottle and filled it with home brand milk. Later, after he'd drunk most of it, he complained that he must be allergic to expensive milk too because it went straight through him and he suffered a bad case of diarrhea. I felt horrible and I couldn't tell him what I had done. I like how some of the lies are really kind and caring and others are like, he's not allergic to milk, and then she tricks him and feeds him, and it's like he has a really bad anaphylactic shock and dies. It's like, oh, he was right. This one's so funny. When I was first going out with my fiance, I left, walked into the lounge room to fart in the kitchen so I didn't destroy the honeymoon phase of our relationship. He got up and walked in on it. Nearly died. I told him I could smell it too and that I think a gas stove was leaking. I had to put in a maintenance report with the real estate because he was so worried about gas leaking in a small unit. I told him years later, and that it was that bad. He remembered exactly what I was talking about. Oh, shit. I mean, there was a gas leak, so she wasn't wrong. There's a comment underneath this one. It's from Susan, and Susan says, as a teen, I farted in the lounge room. My dad walked in and blamed the dog, but because it was so bad, he thought the dog had shat in the house. He was so angry and swearing in Croatian and moving all the furniture and everything to try and find where the dog had pooed.